Dean. I'm down at the bike shed in Shoreditch to show you my 1963 BMW R60/2. These old BMWs, they're absolutely amazing. They're pretty bulletproof, but for me, the setup with these Earl's front forks is just amazing. It's got this kind of Rolls-Royce kind of gliding along ride, which is very unusual. There are some old bikes that do have this, I believe in the 50s, 40s even. But for me, I hadn't ridden one with that setup before and completely got hooked. I also got hooked on the style of this bike. The way the flat twin engine is great. Anyway, so I bought this because I was looking on eBay about a couple of years ago and found a 1959 black one of these, and a clever guy had got hold of it, and he put in a 1000cc racing RS 1988 engine, BMW engine, and with this kind of cool setup and the 1000cc engine, it was just amazing. It's a great bike. I've still got it. I'll have to come and show you it one day if you like what you see here. So as you do, I was sitting at home looking on the internet at what people have, how people have customized these. You know, you look on Google, you see photos, flicking through, and I found one of a bike that Blitz Motorcycles in Paris had done, where they'd got hold of the same bike, an R62, and they'd matte blacked the whole bike. I mean everything, the wheels, the engine. I think the only thing they didn't matte black were their carburetors. Anyway, I was absolutely hooked, and thought maybe I could do try and replicate that what they had done, and started looking on eBay over the next few weeks for a donor bike. I found this on the German-Czech border on eBay, and got it home, and first thing, just to make sure the bike was really running, so started her up, and it ran okay. It was a little bit lumpy. Then thought, okay, let's give it a good service, so I started draining down the oil, and the oil was amazing. The oil was almost like cream, and so water must have got in there somehow, but you know, testament to these engines, even with a bit of water in them, they still run and just keep going and going. Anyway, the Blitz Motorcycle one, I wanted to go the same way, so I stripped off the mud guards and stood back, checked out the bike, and thought, this really looks really cool. You know, immediately scrapped the idea of going down the matte black road, because the paintwork was great on this bike, and went for more of a restoration stroke customise project. So yeah, this is the end result, and hopefully now I can talk you around it and show you the bike. So starting at the front here, the wheels and the rims and the spokes were all rusty, so cut those out and sent the hubs away to Hagen. Hagen do a great job. They came back absolutely beautiful. All the brakes were pretty knackered, so it's got all new shoes inside and some new cables. These are a real trendy item at the moment, these Firestones. People say they don't ride well, but I've had no problem. I really give this bike a hard ride, and they seem fine to me. I've got no problems with them whatsoever. This whole front suspension setup was one of the things that drew me to this particular bike. It's this mad cantilever system. These bikes were actually made for sidecar use. I believe that's why they had this setup. And it looks cool. I think it looks very different, very unique. There's a damper inside, and that was leaking down, so took it apart and put some new dampers in. There's not much on the front here that hasn't been touched or nude. There was a really ugly chrome kind of bar here, which is part of the original bike. Took that off, and it kind of shows it off a lot nicer. Put a nice yellow film on the front here, because I just like the look of that. The electrics on-off switch, so you actually push this down and on come your lights. You just click left and right to put your lights on, and it has to go down to be able to start the bike. So that's this was actually knackered, and got a new one of these from a great company in Frankfurt in Germany called Ulyss, and they actually sell every single part for this bike. My clock didn't work, so I managed to to get a clock, not actually from Ulyss, from just from eBay, and it's a completely original clock for this bike. So that's great that they're still available. The original handlebars are actually quite high. They're up here somewhere, very upright. So I found these lower ones from Ulyss, and they kind of give a better look on the bike, and also put you in I think a cooler position, a cooler ride position. All new lines everywhere. These grips are off eBay. This tiny mirror, also another eBay item. Believe it or not, it actually works really well. It's probably for a bicycle mirror. The light switch was broken, so that's all been replaced. Great looking tank. This is the larger tank. It holds more fuel than some of the R62 other models. It's got a long range tank. The paintwork is absolutely phenomenal. I believe it's original. Put a check through the middle here, which I think looks cool. The petrol cap here, I don't think it's actually a BMW one, but I did buy an original one from Ulyss, and this one actually looks better. So it's got kind of tarnish, and it brings a bit of old into the new, and works really well. No leaks. In here I've got a little toolbox, so got some little spanner and some screws, and also some spare fuses. The badge was on the bike, but it was all rusty. The screws were rusty, and it was very tarnished. So I managed to get an original badge here with the really nice old style writing on there, and also this cool bevel. Moving on to the engine, new heads, new pistons. A guy called Robbie down in Motorcycle Service Centre in Harrow Road near Ladbroke Grove. He's the man for these bikes. He's got a few himself, and he's a master at rebuilding these engines. The heads again are from Ulyss in Frankfurt. So I think even these oil tubes were rusty. So we've changed everything. Every single part's been changed and renewed. So I was chatting to Dan when I got here before, and he was saying one of his favourite parts of this engine are these lovely polished aluminium. I've actually polished them up myself. Originally they were just a bit matted up, and they've polished up really nicely, and he liked that. So that's all my hard work's paid off there. The gearbox again just got totally stripped down and rebuilt with all new bolts, which is running really well now. Going on to the carburetors. So the original carburetors on these bikes, they work okay, but you get a few flat spots, and wanted more performance and a non-leaking carburetor. So managed to find Mukini carbs on researching on the internet. These ones fitted on. I had to get this flange here. Got that from America and on eBay, which bolted up absolutely beautifully. Mukini in the UK were brilliant on the phone, and they actually jet the bike, the carburetor all up for you, so that it runs smoothly with this particular engine. So they were really helpful. Got a nice little filter here. It's a Warrior one from eBay. I just quite like the look of it as well. You can get these big chrome ones, but these ones are effective, and I think they look cool. Originally there was a chrome pipe, which is actually a really good looking chrome pipe that goes to here, to this air filter. So got rid of that. In doing so, Robbie at Motorcycle Service Centres, he managed to put these lovely little filters in place of the pipe, and I think it looks cool. I actually bought some really amazing little trumpets to go on here, but once you're actually riding your shin, there's not enough room to be able to brake and have the trumpets there. So unfortunately they were bought for no purpose, so they're sitting on my desk. New rubber boots here, new battery. All of these bits are from Ulyss. A really cool original tyre pump coming through to rear setup here. So the shaft here was totally rebuilt as well, with all new bolts, all new oils. These two little bits on the chassis here are basically for the sidecar setup. So the sidecar would have bolted onto these with the arm and the connector here. I found this really cool little light on eBay. It's a bicycle light. You know, it gives a great light and looks cool, and it fitted on there perfectly, I think. The rear cans, they're totally original. There's a few dents and dings in them. I kept these on because I just trying to bring the old with the new. Didn't want to go too perfect with the rest though. The rear brakes all got totally stripped down and rebuilt. Again, the same as the front. Hagen did a great job with the spokes and new rims. The rear shock was also knackered, and that got replaced. The rear setup with these plungers on this particular model, it's a cool look. The Blitz motorcycle one, they had this setup. It really drew me to it, and but by stripping off the rear mudguard, you actually take a lot of structural out of this rear area. So Robbie Motorcycle Service Centre, he was brilliant. He managed to build this bracket. It's not perfect, but it's, you know, it just kind of shows that handmade look, but it really is functional. It literally holds the whole chassis rear together, and without that you can completely bend your chassis, twist it. Found some lovely caps from Lease. They were all rusty and rotten, and then also needed a rear mud guard. So a friend came up with this idea to get a mud guard, chop it in half, and bolt it onto some fittings, some places where you can bolt here, and it looks cool. It looks really cool. So that's the whole back here. The original mud guard has the number plate built into it, so had to do something. So I found this cool eBay item, and it's cool. The brake light works well, but I fitted that other light on the other side because at night it's just not bright enough. What else we got here? We got some new covers, really beautiful hub covers on the front and back, and the original ones were just very matted, a little bit rusty. All the original levers, brake levers, gear levers, and they got this massive kickstart, which is really cool. I'm going to show you now. I'm going to start her up, and I hope you enjoyed looking at my bike down at the bike shed. Hopefully we might get to race this one at the festival. So let's start her up. The key is at the front here, so that's quite cool. So we switch that on, give it a little bit of choke, and hopefully she'll start up. Like music. Okay, so. Sounds absolutely brilliant. Give it another little run. Sounds good, huh?